What's up guys, Brad back with another video. In today's video I'm going to be giving my thoughts and views on Huddersfield Town's first 23 games in the Sky Bet Championship. So I'm not going to waffle on about anything irrelevant. I'm going to try not to anyways, because it's going to be a lot longer video than usual. It's not really going to be edited as well, it's just going to be one big clip if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just going to get straight into it and start talking about what I think we've achieved so far, what I think we could have improved on, where we need to improve, how we can improve, and what's gone really well this year. So I'd like to, first things first, I'd like to address that we're 19th in the league. That's not great when you look at it, but if you base it off what position we were in the Seaver, it's a miracle really. It's nothing short of a miracle to be winning games, to have hope as fans going into a game, not always thinking, oh yeah, we're definitely going to lose this game. Well, I go into games now thinking we could get a draw out of this, and then we end up getting a win, which is very surprising because I didn't think that had ever happen again, especially not under Jan Sievert. But yeah, we're 19th. We've got a solid manager. Him and his assistant Danny and Nicky Cowley. We've got solid manager. They can take us where they can take us. They're doing well with us, put it this way. But we need to make stuff easier for them, is what I mean. And I'll come back to this later. But first of all, I'd like to talk about. Obviously, we were 24th under Sievert. We looked like we could be going down, laughing stock of the league for a long period of time. Us and Stoke both were. We found our feet a bit quicker and a bit in better form than Stoke, but they have also started to pick up points. So I'd like to talk about something that I think's had a massive impact on our confidence over the past 3 seasons, because this has been a massive problem. And I'd like to take you back to 2018 May time. So this was when we just stayed up for in our first season in the Premier League, which was again nothing short of a miracle. Don't know how Wagner managed it, but he did. But I think this is where Wagner made a mistake, and I'm coming out and saying it now because I've actually seen the bigger picture and thought, yeah, that didn't really help us out long term. So I noticed in the Championship, the season before that in the Premier League, first season, we played 4-2-3-1, and we played what I could only describe as pressing football. We didn't let our opponents have the ball, because obviously if they've got the ball and they can create chances, they're dangerous with it. And a perfect display of our tactics was against Manchester United when we beat them 2-1 at home at the John Smith Stadium. It was when Paul Merson said, I'd say the better team won. He said something like that. He was sort of meaning that Manchester United dominated the game, and which they did do, but our tactics played that well in our favour that we got the result, and everyone worked together that game so we could get that result, if that makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is, we had a 4-2-3-1 system that worked perfectly fine 2 years running. It kept us up, and then whenever we played top 6 teams away from home, Wagner sort of went 5 at the back. He did it against Arsenal, we lost 5-0. He did it against City, did it against Chelsea. Now, when he did it against City, and I was there, so I saw it in full sort of motion, it worked a treat. City had loads of chances that game, but they just weren't destined to score. So it was just written on the wall that we were going to get that point that day. Not that they were to care, because they were lifting the trophy 10 minutes later, but not the point. We still used the system well, and it worked. And then he used it again. Wagner used it again at Stamford Bridge when we played Chelsea and drew 1-1. When Moy put over that ball to Departure, and Departure scored. Alonso equalised. Lerso kept us in it. Long story short, we stayed up. And then at the beginning of the next season, he went back to it. And that's where I think he made a mistake. I think we should have stuck to what we know, like Sheffield United have done going up from the Championship, going into the Premier League. They've stuck to the 3-5-2. And they're not changing anything, they're not trying to be creative, and they've achieved something massive, I must say. To be 5th in the Premier League halfway through it, for a team that was in League One a couple of years ago, that is mad. I don't think people give Wilder and some of their players enough credit, and everyone seems to say that Sheffield United or the team that are playing Sheffield United are always having an off day, which is just disrespectful, because you can't have an off day however many times. You can't be fifth based on luck, put it that way. You can stay up with a bit of luck like we did, but you can't be fifth by luck. But they achieved something massive, and they've got a system and it works. We had that system and we changed it, and that's where everything went south. It did. We played 5 at the back against Brighton, which still to this day baffles me. The only reason we got a goal, it was in the first few seconds of the game. Zankic got a free header. Oh, he wasn't a free header, but he just header presented himself. 1-0. And then Mounier went and got sent off, which was not a red card at all, and is to this day why I still don't like Michael Oliver. He's the worst refereeing decision I've seen in years. But we changed the system. 5 at the back against Palace, Cardiff, Brighton. They're not exactly threatening teams. You take away the star player for Brighton, it were at the time, I'd say Murray were the dangerous one. Palace, it's obviously Zaha who scored a good solo goal against us. And then Cardiff, they didn't really have anyone going for it. 5 at the back against bang average sides in the Premier League, it just wasn't on, and that's why we didn't get results. That's why we only won 3 games, because we just couldn't function with 5 at the back. It didn't work out for us. And Wagner, to be fair to him, he left because he realised he couldn't do anything else. He was out of his depth. For the first season in the Prem, he stuck with what he knew and he succeeded. But for the second season, that's where it went wrong, because he changed it up. That's my opinion. You can say I'm wrong. That's your opinion also. But that's where I think it went wrong, and I think that carried over into when Sievert got the squad. No one was motivated, no one had confidence. We got 3 wins out of the season, and then now we've come into the Championship under Sievert and we just flopped instantly. But now, which I'm so grateful Phil appointed these, we've got the Cowleys, and they've injected some sort of rocket up the arse sort of method that just gets these players confident again, and that really, to fans, it's just a relief. But the problem is as well in football now, and I hate to say it, but it's true, that's only 50% of the problem. We need to spend some money, and we need to spend it badly. And I don't mean spending 10 million on Diakabe, 10 million on Benza, because Diakabe, he's got ability, he's got pace, he's got dribbling, but he hasn't got the attitude, is what a lot of fans are saying. And you know what? I haven't seen much passion from him. You look at Juninho Bacuna, he wears the shirt with pride, with passion. He wants to play every week. Obviously, he's not doing it, he's doing it for a living because he plays football to get paid, but that's not the point. He plays for the shirt. So does Schindler, so does Hogg, so does O'Brien, players like that. I've not seen any of that from Diakabe. And Benza, I don't know what the scouts were thinking when they thought we should sign Benza and Diakabe, because neither of them... Benza scored 1 goal. Diakabe's not scored at all. He's won a penalty, that's it. I really can't think of anything else productive that either of them have achieved at Huddersfield Town in 2 years' time. That is really how bad it is. Ramadan Sobhi, a signing that Wagner got. I actually thought he were half decent when he come on against City and against Watford down at Vicarage Road. But obviously Wagner thought otherwise. Sent him on loan to the Saudi Arabian League, I think. Might be an Egyptian, I'm not sure. But sent him on loan, and then we've not seen or heard of him since. I still think he's a decent player. He's a decent winger. He's better than wingers we've got now. Especially because he's playing Grant on the wing, which I'm alright with, but I just prefer him up front where because he's more clinical there. Because it's not every week he's going to be able to pull off these wonder strikes like against Barnsley and Wigan. He's carrying us at this point, genuinely carrying us. So I think Grant needs to be up front, and we need wingers badly. Like, we need some wingers so badly. It baffles me how Kachunga gets a starting place every week. Don't get me wrong, the kid puts in a shift. He puts in 100% every week. Effort, passion, he's got it all, but ability-wise, he has lost a lot of it since getting injured. And I think he needs to either get it back or just be a rotation player, because I don't think he's personally that good anymore. When we were in the Championship last time, he's our top goal scorer playing in right mid, so that says a lot. That says that we had a goal scoring problem, as well as the fact that Kachunga was on fire in that Championship season. He's just lost it so much since getting injured so much in the Prem. So, what can you do really if he's getting injured? But I do think we need to spend money in this window. I think we do. I think we need to spend money on a centre half, because as good as the Schindler and Stankovic partnership is proving to be at the moment, if one of them gets injured, it is curtains for us. It is complete. Like there's no because Elphic's out. If Stankovic gets injured or Schindler gets injured, we're gonna have to pass the captain's armband to someone else, and we're gonna have to play Romani Edmonds-Green. No disrespect to him, he's not ready for football week in week out. He's only just made his debut against Charlton, out of his position, which he played pretty well in, but I just don't think he's ready, especially not in such a it's hard league championship. So I don't think he's ready yet. Maybe rotate him, maybe start him in a couple of games against lower league sides, but I really won't like to chuck him in the deep end at Craven Cottage or Hillsborough or Ellen Road or anywhere like that against teams like Leeds, Sheffield and Fulham. It'd be horrible for him against such clinical players. That would not do his confidence any good at all. So I think we definitely need to get centre half. We need a replacement left back. We've been linked with Morgan Fox, but really I don't want to get Fox. He's not good enough. And Sheffield Wednesday getting rid of him purely for the reason that he's deadwood to them. He's not good enough. So I'd take a youngster, or I'd take someone like, I don't know, someone like with not the build, but like sort of like Baines, if you get what I mean. It's like, 30-odd-year-old, like Fuchs. That's it. That's what I'm thinking of, like Christian Fuchs, like someone who's. It's a bit like Simpson, actually, who's, 30-odd-year-old. They've achieved what they've achieved, but they're going to start to go down the leagues eventually. Like Simpson has done, exactly like Danny Simpson has done, who I must add is a good player for us. He's definitely proved he's better than Hadji and I in that right back position. But again, I think, another left back and possibly a replacement right back, because Simpson got injured. Bakuna can't play right back. He's not a right back, so if he makes mistakes at right back, I can't fault him because he don't play there. So there's that. We need to replace Moy as well. I don't think Huddersfield Town fans, I'm saying this because I think this. I don't think other fans understand how crucial Moy was to our game. He was the player. When the season we went up, him and Shelby were the best players in that league, and that's not even biased. That's just my opinion. He was genuinely electric. It was ridiculous. He could pick passes out in ridiculous range. He'd win the ball back whenever you thought that they were going to counter and score. Moy was so crucial to our promotion and our relegation battle in the first Prem season. Second season he got injured. What happened? Went down. But that's also due to the lack of scouting and money spent on quality players, which we don't seem to ever do, I must add. We don't ever seem to spend money on any proven players, which is what I want for this club, because I don't want to see this club go being 19th every season. We're better than that at the moment. No, we're not, but that's because we haven't spent. Theoretically, if we spend money, I believe that we would be an established mid-table side, and that I'm happy with that. I'm more than happy with that, because we're not going to go back up. If we're going to go back up, it's definitely not this season, and I don't think it'd be next season. It'd definitely have to be in a couple of seasons' time, building and establishing his place in the middle or like playoff contenders in seasons to come. But it's not happening this year. I can assure that. I predicted it would happen this year, but that was under the assumption that we would spend money on quality proven players and not gamble it on players that we've not seen play at this level before, players that we've not seen play in the Prem before. I just feel like I'm repeating myself whenever I say this, but we need to spend the money on proven, just please listen to that word, proven players. It's just like we need players who have established themselves in the Championship, in the Premier League. They have shone out to the light of being better than the rest, put it that way. So a player like a couple of years ago, Charlie Adam, that would have been a great signing. Joe Allen, but he's lost it a bit. For Wales, he's pretty good, but for Stoke, he just doesn't seem to want to ever play good. But players like that, we need a complete midfielder, and he needs to be proven. Moy was one in 1,000. like some random bald guy from Australia, and he's absolutely mugged Manchester United off the first time he's ever played them. Like, what's that about? That's ridiculous. So, like I say, it's 1 in 1,000. It's not going to happen again. We're not going to just randomly send a scout out and say, oh yeah, look, Manchester United have got this centre mid. He's 23-year-old or whatever. He's 25-year-old. He's been playing in Japanese league all his life. Give a chance on him, and then he goes and like runs show against Leeds or something. It's just not going to happen again. It won't happen again. So that's why I think we need to replace Moy, and he needs to be a proven player. He needs to replace Moy. We've still not done it. Well, Chalobah is not the same player as Moy. They're different players. O'Brien is not the same player as Moy. They're similar, but they're not the same. O'Brien's a much quicker dribbler of the ball. Moy's a slower player who picks a pinpoint pass out and moves the ball as he moves, and he goes where the ball goes. In the 4-2-3-1 system, Hogg was the number 6 that split in between the centre halves, and Moy was the one who went and chased the ball all the time, and he won it back a lot of the times. That's why I really miss him as a player, because we don't have that energy winning the ball back. Don't get me wrong, some of the lads we've got now are quality midfield. They win the ball back, but I've not seen a player. Moy's the best player to ever wear a Huddersfield Town shirt, and that's my opinion. I could even go as far to say that it's just a fact, but that would be biased in my opinion a bit too much. So, but we need to replace Moy badly. So Moy needs to be replaced. We need a full-back each, centre half, wingers, badly wingers. Goal scorers, I'm not too fussed about goal scorers. Like Grant and Mounier, they can both stay for me, and Campbell. Because Mounier epitomises what our squad is for me. It's heroes and villains. Literally, it's heroes and villains. 1 week, we're beating Forest and we can't believe his luck. Next week, we've just lost to a team that are in a relegation battle also, and we can't believe it. We're thinking, oh, we're brilliant, oh, we're shit. There's no two ways about it. It's one or the other with us. It's never in between. We'll win 1 week, we'll lose another. We'll draw 1 week, then we'll draw the next. We can't believe his luck, and then we'll go and bottle it, and then we'll look around and be like, well, where's that performance from last Saturday then? And then we'll realise, it was just a one-off. It was just a good day. But that's what I mean when I say that manager is 50% of the problem. And I'm glad Phil has fixed the managerial problem, because second season, Wagner was out of his depth. He understood that. He left with mutual consent. All the best, Wagner. Sievert come in, massively out of his depth. Had no idea what he was doing. No disrespect to him, but he had no idea what he was doing in the Prem. He got 1 win, and he was clueless in Championship also. So it was the best for him to go also. Cowley come in. Look at what him and Nicky have achieved in the first 23 games. So I think in these first 23 games, we've actually done quite well. Like the season as a whole has not gone too bad. Theoretically, when you look at it, it looks awful because we were just in the Prem. But us as fans can see through the true colours and see that it's not as doom and gloom as it's made out to be, because we could have been going down had we stayed under Sievert. And like I say, Cowley's injected confidence into the squad. We're winning games. We're getting points in the league table. I can't really ask for much more until we actually invest in the club. And until we invest in the club, that's not going to change, because Cowley's inherited Sievert and Wagner's squad, don't forget. So anything that any team he puts out, he's not bought any of the players. And I reckon after this January transfer window, we could push up the table and maybe finish at a mid-table spot, because if Cowley gets what he wants player-wise, then maybe we could actually get higher up in the table. But until that happens, we're going to be staying around the 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th mark, and just up and down between that week in, week out, because other teams spent quite a bit of money in the summer window. We spent 800k. At the time, I thought maybe the squad might be good, maybe Sievert's got a plan. He had no plan whatsoever, and the squad was awful. So, but I'm not a professional manager, so I'm just a lad that makes YouTube videos talking about it, so I can't exactly have a professional opinion on it, but I can have my views and thoughts like I'm saying now. But I've said who we need to sign, and I just wish it'd be proven for once. Like, don't get me wrong, I've got no against going abroad to get cheaper deals, but I just prefer it to be proven for once, if you get what I mean. I prefer not to gamble our season on some French guy that we haven't seen in this league, or some German guy that we've not seen in this league. I just don't really want to see it gambled again. That's just my opinion. But I think the first 23 games as a whole have gone quite well. I'm massively impressed with what Cowley's done. The results against Birmingham and Swansea, where we drew 1-1. Now, the first game, the match day vlog I uploaded, the Birmingham one, I put 2 points lost, because in my opinion, it was 2 points lost. We dominated the game. We had Birmingham were not in the game at all. We scored first, and then they got a goal out of nothing. Then it was back to 1-1. It just stayed 1-1. So I thought that game was 2 points lost. But then a couple of weeks was it a couple of weeks, or was it? No, I can't remember when it was. A couple of weeks later though, we played Swansea at home, and we drew 1-1 in that also. Now, a lot of fans thought we should have won that game. Now, me personally watching, I thought 1-1 were a good result for us. The reason being, Swansea was 6th at the time and had the best away form in the league, and we had one of the worst home forms in the league. So I was more than happy with us drawing that game, especially since Trevor Chalobah got sent off in the 80th minute. They could have got a bit of life in them after that and got a nicked a last minute win. That wouldn't have exactly been nice, would it? I thought 1-1 were a good result against Swansea, but because we'd started to pick up form, everyone naively thought, oh, Huddersfield Town, yeah, we're going to start playing well again, we're going to start winning loads of games. It's not the case. And I keep saying it. I just like, people think I'm being negative in my videos when I expect us to bottle it every week, but I just know what the squad's capable of, both positively and negatively. I know how some matches are going to pan out before anyone else knows. It's like I can just tell. And I know a lot of people will agree with me here. You just get that feeling. Like Forest, the last 10 minutes, oh my God, their fans are going to be so gutted that they didn't leave with 3 points. In fact, they were rattled, all of them. Twitter were going mad. They were proper salty. And obviously I love to rub salt in the wounds, because it was nice to finally do it after beating a team. But the last 10 minutes, Jesus Christ, they're on the edge of my seat. I thought, oh, we're going to bottle it. And I was wrong. And I was so glad I was wrong. And you could see like the joy in my face at the end of the video I posted. I was like, oh my God, can't believe it. We've not bottled it. We've got 3 points. And then the week after, it's like I say, heroes and villains. We go and lose to Middlesbrough. Now that's not included in the first 23 games technically, but I wasn't going to make this video on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, because I was doing things, obviously, with it being Christmas Day and Boxing Day, so we can talk about Borough included. But that's exactly my point. We like, one week it's so good, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Mounier's so good, Mounier's brilliant. The next week he misses a sitter, and everyone's quick to get on his back. Everyone's quick to say, oh yeah, I want him out of the club, yeah, I want him out of the club. Last week you were literally talking about him like he was some sort of god. And for me, Mounier, I'd like to keep, because he provides us something in the air. He's immobile, and he's got the turning circle of a canal barge, but he provides something that we don't have up front, and that's being an aerial threat. He wins almost all the headers. At the end of the day, he might be a high earner, but I think he should stay. And I think we should keep him there with Campbell, rotating them with Grant. See what works. Cowley knows best. I trust Cowley. And if we get some proven players, who knows what Cowley and his brother can achieve? Who knows where we can go? As long as we stay up this season, I'm more than happy. But if we finish above 16th, let's say, that'd be pretty good to say that we were in relegation zone for the first, I think it's like 7, 8, 9 games of the season. Bloody going to Cardiff and then losing 2-1 in 88th minute. Heartbreaking. But on a positive, so that's me finished pretty much talking about the season. I think it's gone pretty well. All things aside, I think we've got some decent results under Cowley. Cowley has made the squad thrive, and Seavitt didn't, and that there's no two ways about it really. Cowleys have done wonders with our squad really, but I think we need to invest in their players. So the players that they want, invest in them, and I think that is where we improve, and that is where we go to go in the right direction for this club. That's pretty much it for me. So looking into the next few games now, obviously the first game of the second half of the season, Barrow lost 1-0. Blackburn, Stoke at home. They look easy on paper. Stoke game looks easy on paper. It's not going to be. Blackburn's going to be a tough game, even though they haven't got Dak. So if I had to predict, I'm going to make previews for the games as I always do. But if I had to predict now, Huddersfield Blackburn, I'm going to go 1-1 for that, and Stoke I'll say 1-0 Town. But that's me being confident. What could actually happen is against Blackburn, because they're doing pretty good at the moment. We could get a player injured in the first few minutes, confidence goes, Holtby runs rings around us. It could happen. Might be thinking negative, but I know what this squad's capable of. And I think we bottle it a lot of the time. And another thing is, when it's your own team, when you think about your own team, people think negative generally anyways. It's like you always think, oh yeah, we would bottle it us. Oh yeah, oh we are going to bottle it. Oh yeah, we're not going to win on Saturday. When it's your team, if you were talking about a mate's team, then you'd be like, oh yeah, your lot will do pretty good on weekend. We won't. You don't ever. I personally and a lot of other people, you don't think positive. You don't necessarily think positive about your team, but you don't ever sort of think best case scenario. You think worst case scenario a lot of the time when you're talking about your own team. So 1-1 Blackburn, 1-0 Town against Stoke, and that's an optimistic prediction in my opinion. And then after that we've got Southampton away in the FA Cup, which I'm going to with a mate. I don't know why I'm putting myself through it again. South Coast, 6 hours probably altogether with a service stop, or 5 and a bit. I don't know how that's going to go. After losing 9-0 to Leicester, I thought Southampton were done in the league. Then they go and beat Chelsea. That's just how football works. It's cruel. We're probably going to get battered, but it's a day out, end of day, and it's FA Cup, away day. Can't wait, really. But if we do lose, it's going to be a very depressing couple of hours going around the M25 again, like the Amex last season. But yeah, I look forward to those games. I look forward to see what we can achieve, and hopefully just after the Stoke game, or maybe just after the Southampton game, we start to get linked to some good, proven players. So think positive. There could be some. Cowley could have some tricks up his sleeve, as I say. He knows what he's doing, and if you say one last thing, if you say Cowley out, like, unless there is one of very limited few valid arguments to back it out, then you're just deluded, mate. Like, there's just no, Cowley should not leave at all costs. He's vital for our success. If there is any success to be had for us this year, which I think just staying up, it would be. The only way we're going to get it is if we keep Cowley. So as I say, this is a very long video. It's going to be about half an hour long altogether. Not really edited, just me talking what I think's happened this season, what I think's gone wrong over the past couple of years. I've explained it all. I think I've done a pretty good job of it. Let me know down below if I have. Yeah, comment what you think of my thoughts. Comment what you think of the season as a whole. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Quick thing. Massive thanks for 600 subs. Got that on Christmas Eve. That was a good early Christmas present. It was a big achievement for me to get 600 subs, and we're getting ever so closer to the first 1,000, the big 1,000, and I just want to get that as soon as possible. That's really my goal, and then from there I can see where my channel's going. Because at the moment I'm making loads of different videos out. I'm making Huddersfield Town. I'm making ones how to get a better score on Snapchat, which that's just gone like a bit. That's got loads of views and quite good support on that one. Like all my other videos, it's got great support. I appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to watch my videos where I explain what I think about this little club in Yorkshire. So, not a massive club in Yorkshire, but But no, I really do appreciate all you lot taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. Can't really say what else really. Just massive thanks for the 600 subs, massive thanks for the recent support, massive thanks for watching this video. So leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, like I say, comment if you agree, comment if you disagree, debate in the comments if you want. I'll join in, I'll back it, I'll reply, you know. But yeah, subscribe to the channel also. I'm just repeating myself now, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.